a travel day today, so we'll see how much I get done. This week was all about adding content. I made several new guns, a shotgun that's an instant kill up close but not that great at range, a grenade launcher that fires grenades that can bounce and be levitated, and a sniper rifle that shoots through walls but has a backblast that can kill you if you're not careful. I added in a sniper enemy that uses that sniper rifle and it will shoot at gunshots it can't see, which you can exploit to get it to shoot at its allies. I also made the mechanics for your backpack that will carry your ammo and weapons, along with making pickups that will give you ammo or increase the number of slots in your backpack for weapons. The UI is fairly minimalistic. I just went for a black with 1 pixel wide white border theme for everything, and also some white cross hatching on weapons to make them stand out more. There were also a bunch of tweaks I made based on feedback from playtesters on Patreon, like an aim assist for levitated weapons, which works by shooting a bunch of raycasts out at gradually increasing angles, and then if one hits an enemy, the gun rotates to face it. I also added a line tether from the cursor to drag weapons, making it easier to see what you're dragging and what direction it's facing. And I added a lot of pop-ups, such as for picking up weapons or taking their ammo. I made a separate option for picking up ammo from weapons instead of just taking it by default when you walk over them, which is how most games work, because I had to make sure that you can levitate and shoot them remotely if needed. Finally, I made a lot of levels. Level design is one of the things that I struggle with the most. I find making new mechanics fun and easy, but making enjoyable playgrounds to use them in to be a lot of work. So the challenge is really just in the sheer quantity of levels needed to have a decently long game. Like, you're going to run out of ideas for levels pretty quickly. So I use a couple techniques to come up with level ideas. One is something I call the random technique, which I used in my game Intersection a lot. You basically just make a level by throwing a bunch of things around randomly and then try playing it. It probably won't be a winnable level, but your brain will automatically notice and attempt partial solutions, some of which will be pretty interesting. And if you just pay attention to those, then you can go back to the level editor and tweak a few things to make one of those solutions actually work. Using this, I've found some really interesting level designs that I would never have come up with on my own. The other technique is something I call the Romero Technique, because I read about John Romero doing this in the book Masters of Doom, which is a really good book every game developer should read. Basically, when he designed levels for Doom, he would make a starting room, play through it, then go back to the editor, add another room onto it, play it, add one more thing, play again, repeat. This would lead to some really intuitively built levels, and I find it very easy to improvise levels using this technique. That's everything I worked on this week. I've just been focused on making a large block of content that I can later polish down. I'd like to thank my Patreon, specifically Wapiti, who has been playtesting and writing feedback on every build of They Thou so far. Also, I've made a Steam page for They Thou. It's pretty work in progress still, but I've linked it in the description if you want to wishlist it.